We respectfully request the Sangha great virtues for the sake of this assembly and all living beings. Please turn the wonderful Dharma wheel to teach and guide us how to end birth and death, leave suffering and attain bliss, and quickly realize non-birth. Cung thính đại đức tặng thính, vì thứ pháp hội cập nhật thiết chúng sanh, tịnh chuyên diệu pháp luân giao đạo ngã môn, gửi sanh thoát từ ly khổ đắc lạc, tất chứng vô sanh. Homage to the Blessed, Noble, and Perfectly Enlightened One. Nam mô Sa Đan Thô Sư Chế Đô Ye Ơ La Hời Đi San Miao San Pu Tô Xie. Nam mô Tát Đắc Tha Tô Ya Đa Ya A La Ha Đế Tam Miệu Tam Bồ Đà Toa. The unsurpassed, profound, subtle, and wonderful Dharma in 100,000 million aeons is difficult to encounter. Now that I am able to see and hear, I will receive and maintain it. I vow to fathom the thus come one's true and actual doctrines. Wu shang sheng sheng wei miao fa bai jian wan jie nan zao yu, wo jin jie wen de xiao zhi, yuan jie ru lai chen shi yi. O Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, Great Master Sutra, Great Master YongHua, all good monks and nuns, and all good knowing advisors, Emitofuo. 诸佛菩萨、智者大士、师父上人、各位出家人、各位善知识，弥陀佛。Chư Phật Bồ Tát, kính thưa trí giả đại sư Thượng Thiên Hóa, quý thầy cô và quý vị thiện tri thức A Di Đà Phật. Hello everyone, today is the 2nd of May, 3rd of May, 2025, thank you. We're here at Go Force to continue discussing the Vimalakirti Sutra. We are on chapter 1, slide 235. Thank you all for coming. This section here, the tail end of chapter 1, where it's naming the 32,000 great Buddha, great Bodhisattvas in attendance. Here only a handful of Bodhisattvas were named because it's too many. But these are representative Buddhas, Bodhisattvas, Mahasattvas, and there's so many of these Mahasattvas in attendance that is not fair to say that these are the more known or more influential, more powerful Mahasattvas at all. They're all extremely, extremely powerful, extremely influential. Okay, but for the sake of simplicity and not get bogged down by excessive details, these Mahasattvas' names were mentioned here. Okay, we are quite a few, quite a ways yet. So therefore, we continue with these Bodhisattva Mahasattvas. Okay, here we go. Bodhisattva Jewel Valor.
宝永菩萨
Okay, so the names says it all. There are their titles and the renowned are this Mahasattva is known to be have great valor, and why the valor is because of his mind when he is confronted with birth and death. Okay, when you think about it, birth and death is one of the most terrifying things in life, especially death. Okay, birth is because at that time we are too young to really experience it, but now death is when we feel most powerless. Doesn't matter who we are. We could have the most power, the most influential, the most renowned, the richest. When death comes, you basically are powerless against it. So therefore, people don't like to talk about it. They don't dare face it. But death is one of the most terrifying things in people's lives. And so that's why we all choose to ignore it and look the other way. Okay? And so this Bodhisattva here, he has wisdom. That's why he has no fear when he's faced with the idea of death. And also the idea of birth is also extremely dangerous as well. This is a reminder for all of us that once you die, okay, you have zero control over where you're going to be born. And that is a terrifying prospect when you think about it. Okay? We pride ourselves as being smart and being wise. Therefore, it manifests in a form of us having control over our lives. Okay? But this birth and death here is beyond our control. Okay? And this is what differentiates ordinary people from sages. Ordinary people are frightened of birth and death, whereas sages are not. Okay? And so why would he be known as a bodhisattva? Why would he want to be known as valor? And he's known as valor because he understands our deepest fears about birth and death. That's why his Dharma is to help us reduce our fear and resolve this birth and death issue and the fear that comes with it. Okay? And how does he do that? And how can we do it just like him? That's what the name says here, jewel valor. A jewel because he can see all the Dharma jewels. Okay, that's why when he sees all these Dharmas, jewels, then he's no longer afraid or terrified of birth and death. And that's what we can do too. There, hence his name. His name, he says, if you practice, you cultivate, and if you cultivate to the point of seeing the jewels, the Dharma as jewels. Right now, you see Dharma as just a useful tool. Okay? But if you're able to get to the level of wisdom where you see actually these mere things we teach you about, like Namo Emitofuo, and one of the multitudes of Dharma jewels, you understand the real power of that over birth and death, then you become naturally fearless. Okay? So he's known to do this because he's able to help living beings see the Dharma jewels. All right? Experience it. Next, Bodhisattva jeweled view.
宝剑菩萨
The next Bodhisattva Mahasattva, he can contemplate the real marked jewels and he can clearly see the nature. Okay, view here, Jian is view here refers to Jian Xing. See, he's able to see his Buddha nature. Unlike ordinary people, they cannot see the nature. Okay, hence their confusion. Once you are able to see your real nature, your true nature, then you're able to, like in his case here, contemplate the real mark jewels. Okay, you see that there are many jewels that arise from the real marks. All right, so that's why he's known as jewel view. Right, and so that's the nature of wisdom. By the way, if you have wisdom, then you're able to see your nature, and you see jewels. You see gems and jewels everywhere. Okay. Next, Bodhisattva Indra's net.
帝王菩萨
Okay, another Buddhist analogy, Buddhist concept here is Indra's net. Okay, Indra is the name of the heavenly king on the second desire heaven. Okay, heaven number 2. And he's also known as God, as Allah in our world, because he has a lot of affinities with us. He actively recruits people to become his follower. That's why in our world he has a lot of followers. Right now, the followers number in the over 1 billion people. Okay, and because he's very active in recruiting them. Okay, and therefore he has very strong affinities with these with the human beings. That's why we see churches and synagogues and mosques everywhere. Okay, lots of followers. What he's known for, this Indra here, this nature of the jewels he possesses, is that he has his net. Okay, this net here is a humongous net, and the net here contains countless jewels at every single intersection, every single hole there in the net. Okay, there would be a gem there, a pearl there. Okay, so every single hole in the net would have a pearl. You see how incredibly rich he is. That's why he has so many temples. In contrast, we only have 2 of his churches. And how poor we are compared to him. That makes you feel humble, doesn't it? I feel humble. The first temple I got, actually, I know, is a gift from him. So I am eternally grateful, oh God. And he's a Buddhist disciple, by the way. His followers don't know that, but he's a Buddhist disciple because when he got in trouble, he came to the Buddha, and Buddha taught him how to get out of trouble. And that's why he was grateful and took refuge with the Buddha. Okay, so a lot of his teachings actually were inspired from the Buddha's teachings. All right, so that's a very, very nice way of showing gratitude. Okay, and he's a real good dude because he, when basing his teachings, his instruction to his followers on Buddha's teachings, he actually are helping them tremendously. Okay, and therefore we Buddhists should not feel any antagonism towards them. They're good people as well, and naturally, when they, DTT is very cold. I'm warning you. Okay, it's very dangerous nowadays. It's a transition between warm weather and the coolness of spring. So dress warmly to be on the safe side. When you go to DTT, please dress very warm. Okay, it's very cold in there. I don't know, for some reason our temple is very cold. Maybe our hearts are cold as ice. But anyway, when you get to know us, actually our hearts are very warm. It's just cold outside. Anyway, so I get sidetracked again. I apologize. And so this you see that this Indra has tremendous blessings. We struggle so much buying houses in Silicon Valley and, working hard for our stocks and, investing in our retirement and so forth. This guy has gems everywhere, okay, as ornament. It's not like he needs it at all. Ornaments are like things you don't need, okay? It's just for his pleasure. But however, the concept of interest net here is the concept that the net is designed to capture something. Like here in our world, we use a net to catch a fish. Yeah, I've seen those things. So capture fish, capture octopus, crabs, okay, and so forth. And so the nets are designed to capture things that we want. Okay, very difficult to catch otherwise. And so what is his net here designed to do? His net here is not simply an ornament for him. A net here is that he wants to capture afflictions, our afflictions. So this is a very good heavenly king. He says, I'm here, and for my followers, I vow to help reduce their afflictions, capture the affliction, catch the afflictions in my net, and help them become less afflicted. Okay. And so what is Bodhisattva by the name of Indra's net does? He contemplates the three truths. Okay. And the three truths here, when he does that, he sees that it's replete with a net of countless dharmas. Okay, the three truths. What are the three truths? As a reminder for you, and the primary truth, the ultimate truth is what? What's the ultimate truth? This is the truth that is unchanging, eternal. It's always true. Doesn't matter who you are. Whether you believe or not, doesn't matter. The truth, the primary truth is, primordial truth is, of the universe is, what? Suffering? Did you say, yeah, here, suffering? No. 5. What's the primary truth? The truth that's eternal. It's unalienable.
Emptiness.
Yeah?
Emptiness.
Emptiness. Everything is empty. You are empty, and I'm not. Okay, that's why I'm here. I see you as empty, but I don't see me as empty. That's why you suffer and I don't. Just kidding. You don't be so stuffy. So anyway, the truth, the primary truth of Buddhism is that you're able to, if you have this truth, this wisdom, this ultimate Buddhist wisdom, is that you see that the truth of emptiness. What does it mean? That everything that you're so attached to is empty. Boys are empty. Cell phones are empty. Mothers are empty. This guy has samadhi power. Clearly. I'm so impressed. My God. Look at him. See, he's doing it on purpose. You notice that? He's doing it on purpose. He knows I'm provoking him, but no, you are empty. Master is empty. See what I mean by you are empty, I'm not. Fascinating. Huh? I rest my case. So anyway, so the first truth is empty, meaning that if you have wisdom, you're able to drop everything. It's because you lack ultimate wisdom, that's why you're so attached. Comment, disagreement, complaints. Go ahead. Boy, you're sheep today. Huh? I should go away more often. Okay? So the Chinese is saying that everything is false. Nothing is real. And therefore, don't be attached. Okay? Or conventional wisdom here in the West is everything returns to dust. Except that to them, dust is not empty. For us, dust is also empty. Everything is empty. That's the ultimate wisdom. Ultimate wisdom is that you're able to see everything is empty, therefore you can see through everything and put down everything. Anyone has any problems with that? Good. That's why you don't see it as empty yet. Okay? All right. Truth number 2 is called the mundane truth, which is everything is, what's the opposite of empty? Real. Okay? Everything is real. That's called mundane truth. So the sage is called sage, sagely wisdom because you're able to drop things. It's empty. Therefore, you see it's empty. You see through the nice hairdo, the nice barbershop job. I don't know what they call it nowadays anymore. But, you're able to drop it. Okay? Because you see its emptiness. Okay? You see it's not real. It's empty. All this is simply appearances that don't last. When I was younger, I used to be impressed by these in Vietnam. used to be impressed by these French movies. They look so impressive, the Westerners, the nose is tall, and then the hair is a different color than ours. Ours always black. Okay. Theirs multicolor. Some are red, some are yellow. Okay, and so it's interesting because of that. The vision what I saw when I was young. Okay, that when I came to the U.S. and then I saw them close up and see the details of the skin is so ugly, pimples and and wrinkles and furrows up here. It's amazing when you're younger, the concept of these people, they look so handsome, so pretty and everything, but when you look closely, you zoom in, you say, oh my God, they're so old. Oh my God, they're so tired. Okay, and depressed. Okay, and so that's why it's like an illusion, if you will. Okay, and nowadays they also use plastic on top of it. So it's very, very, very misleading. So these are appearances that we know they're not real. Therefore, people who have wisdom are able to drop them because they see them as empty, as not real at all. Okay. Whereas the second truth is the truth of mundane truth, where everything is real. Okay. Why is it called wisdom? You see, you agree that there's wisdom in that, in being able to drop. Yes? It's freedom. Yeah? Finally, you're free again. All right? So there's real advantages clearly when you're able to drop things. All right? What about what wisdom is there in looking at everything as real? Contemplating everything is real. Is what seems to be counterintuitive. Everything is real, therefore, everything is important. You can't let go. One side, empty, means you drop everything. This side here, you hang on to everything. So what wisdom is there in contemplating the mundane? Give up? Why is it called wisdom? No takers? How can a person, on one hand, can contemplate emptiness? It says everything is empty. You're empty, I'm empty, this is empty, this building is empty. Except for money, everything else is empty. Yes, Way Mountain. Oh, yeah.
Master, why is it called the mundane truth?
That's the mundane truth. Is everything is real.
So does mundane, does it mean like monotonous? Or
Mundane is of the world. Worldly view. Worldly truth. But we prefer to use mundane to sort of like it sounds loftier. Which is worldly view, worldly contemplation. So my point here is that if you have wisdom, you see everything is empty, it makes sense to you, right? You're free. You are free and easy and at ease. Nothing bothers you anymore, okay? Your husband yells at you, you say, yes, honey. Okay? Son wants to run away, you say, no problem. Go for it, son. Okay? That's emptiness. But what wisdom is there? This person who sees everything empty now, this person sees everything is real. Yes, 5. It's the same person.
I don't have any original idea. I'm just repeating what Master explained before. So that
Sounds like brainwashing.
we see things are real, so that we can engage with the world and then help others.
Help others?
Yeah, so we can engage with others and actually help others. Yeah, in the world.
There's some sense in it. Ingenious. Yes, 5.
Thank you, Master. I guess it's real because the suffer is real.
Suffering is real?
Yeah, you have to
No,
face
suffering
it.
is empty as well. What suffering? Especially when you cross your legs and it hurt like hell, I'm telling you, a Dharma door to get rid of it. Just say, what pain? And it should go away just like that for 1 second. That's proof to you it's real for 1 second to you. Believe. If you really believe that, what I just said, what pain? That pain goes away immediately for 1 second. Then the thought comes back, but wait a minute, I'm hallucinating. And it's painful again. Have you tried that? Okay, just try. It can go away for a split second. Okay, and then it comes right back. Because I'm teaching you why you're having pain. False thinking. When you think, it hurts. When you stop thinking, it doesn't hurt anymore. Now you know. So that's why you can easily see through the pain and drop it. Okay, so that's why the Bodhisattva, when he has pain in the legs, he says, what pain? Pew, it's gone. Okay, why? Why is it gone? Because he says, what pain? And he stopped the second thought from arising, so that's why there's no pain. But you cannot. That's why you still have pain. You say, what pain? And the pain stops, and then the next thought, but wait a minute, what's happening to me? That's when it hurts again. Okay? So that's why the trick is that you fourth stage Rahat or higher, what pain? And you don't allow thoughts to arise anymore. No pain. Got it? That's our professional secret. You're not impressed. Because you can't do it. All right. So along that line, here's what happens. You have wisdom. Fundamentally, you should be able to drop everything. Everything. Including your son. All right? That's a contemplation of emptiness, or the primordial truth is everything is empty, therefore there's no need to attach anything. Okay? YouTube.
Thank you, Master. Diego would like to share that he feels the mundane truth. We can see it as mundane truth because we've received wisdom after we contemplate the truth of emptiness. That way we can engage in the world without being afflicted and really be an asset for helping others.
Yeah, you all have the general concept. You don't quite understand the details yet.
Yeah.
Someday you will. Anyone else? This is professional stuff we're talking about. Okay? So imagine yourself that you taught to contemplate emptiness, and so you're able to drop everything. You drop everything, okay? And then next is a complete wisdom. Think about it. This is very subtle. If you're able to drop everything, and then what? What do you do then? Yes, amigo.
Hello. If I were to learn to drop everything, I would help others drop things.
What others?
My family, friends.
What family? What friends? I'm trying to understand here. I'm dropping everything. You ask me, I want to help my family. I say, what family? Or my friends? Excuse me? What else have you got?
Maybe you can't drop your compassion.
What compassion? Anything else? I won't go as far as gold, but I drop everything else. Bitcoin, no problem. Gold is real to me. Especially nowadays. Keeps going up like crazy. When I first look at it, it's like under $1,000. That's a long, long time ago. Now it's getting close to 4,000. Okay? So think about it. If you're able to drop everything, and then what? Is my question to you. Yes, 5.
Thank you, Master. I feel if I drop everything, my life will better.
Your life will be better.
Yeah, drawing life more because whatever was happening in my life, I feel peace and happy.
So peaceful. No husband. What husband? Right? No husband. Isn't that liberating? No children. Huh? Oh, that would be so nice, wouldn't it? All right? So far, so good. I agree with that. And then what? So you drop everything. And then what? That's my problem.
It's not physically drop everything, right? It's just detached from the husband, the kids, but they're still there.
They're still there.
But you won't afflict by
But
them.
if they go away, it wouldn't bother you.
Yes.
Would you wish that they go away?
No?
No. Then it's not empty yet.
Because, yes, it doesn't matter. They
Huh?
stay or they go away or they stay with me. It's same. If I can drop everything.
You can drop everything. So
Yeah.
you don't even wish they go away.
I think if I can drop everything, I don't need them go away. They can stay or they can go away.
It's tough to trip this woman. So you look at a husband is empty and yet not empty. Is that what you're telling me?
Physically, they are not empty. They're still there. Yeah.
You're still there.
Yeah, but in my mind, they won't bother me.
Like when he says, he yells at you, it won't bother you?
I cannot do that now, but I think if I can drop everything, I should.
Because you can see him as empty. There's no one yelling at you. Correct?
Yeah, it's not.
That's why when you are able to contemplate the truth of emptiness, then someone yells at you and say, okay. It doesn't bother you, right? If you don't see the hymn is empty or the install is empty or the whining is empty, then you are afflicted, right? So you're so much happier, aren't you? Yes, you too.
Thank you, Master. Shirley Zhao, I think it's ZHOU,
Close enough.
says if we drop everything, then everything is possible. emptiness and wonderful existence.
And she doesn't know what she's talking about. She read it somewhere. Oh, I heard it somewhere. Shirley's out. Take a break. Okay. My point to you is that you have wisdom. And you're able to see through everything. Okay? Your husband, your children, your table, and so forth. Okay? Your house, your car, and so forth. Okay? And then what is my question to you? What do you do then with the rest of your life? You become a nun? Yeah, Liang, huh? Liang. What else are you going to do? Huh? Everything's empty, so what's the point? Yeah? Anyone? So what? Then what is the question? Yes, DTT.
DTT là mình đấy.
Yes, ma'am. Yeah.
Thưa, có người dịch không ạ?
Yeah, you don't need to kneel because kneeling is empty.
Thưa, con không có kinh nghiệm thực tế nhưng mà muốn hỏi một câu có liên quan đến kinh sách. Đó là mình có ngũ uẩn nhưng mà tới lục căn. Vậy thì làm sao cái sự liên hệ giữa cái ngũ và cái lục?
God, she has asked a hard question. Translation. This guy's lost too.
Hello, Master. I don't have any real experience, but I have a question relating to the sutra. So we have 5 skandha, and we have 6 sense of faculty. So is there any relationship between the 5 and the 6?
Not direct relationship because they're different concepts. When you talk about the 6 roots, the purpose of Buddha teaching us about the 6 roots is very simple. He says the 6 roots are the means for you to connect with the outside world. Your ear can help you hear. Your mouth can help you taste pizza. Okay? And lập xưởng. And your eyes can help you watch movies or videos. All right? Okay. You let him watch like that, he's going to need to wear glasses. There you go. Okay, so the 6 roots are your physical ability and the means for you to connect with the outside world. So far, so good. It's you, me, and the outside world. Me and not me. So far, so good. Without the 6 roots, you cannot have the connection. For example, some people lack the root of the eyes, therefore they can't see. So they cannot connect, therefore they cannot connect with the sights of the world. They don't need to go on vacations. So far, so good? Okay. And so that's what the 6 sense organs are. Physically, they are a means for us to connect to the outside world. However, in Buddhism, Buddha says it's not their function is not simply to connect with the outside world, but actually because of that connection there, they are the mechanism, or they present opportunities for you to give rise to goodness. So Buddhism is very profound in that sense. Buddha, when he teaches things, it sounds so superficial on the surface, but actually it's very profound. He says 6 roots. The roots give you the ability to create goodness through your interaction with the outside world. Through the interaction with the outside world, using those 6 roots, you're able to give rise to goodness in your heart. It goes bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger by being in contact with the outside world. You don't need to run away from the outside world like Hinayana people do. They run away and they go and meditate, and that's how they give rise to goodness in their heart. But that's the least efficient way of doing it. In Mahayana, we connect with the outside world. We don't run away. We prefer to go to the cities and inhale the polluted air. And that's how we build up, we harness the goodness in us and make it grow. Isn't that interesting? So that's why the concept of 6 roots. So far, so good. So you don't need to deny. You don't say that, oh, I don't like phở. I recently saw some lạp xưởng. I like it. Okay, you don't need to deny it. Okay, because if you learn to use your 6 senses, your 6 roots, okay, you can use them to develop more goodness in you. That's why Buddhism is so superior in that sense. Something so mundane as, well, I would not call that mundane, but annoying, okay? You can give rise to goodness. Okay? So far, so good? Yes, there's a question here in the back. Yes, 6.
Is the peace associated with true emptiness limited?
True emptiness limited?
Is the peace associated with true emptiness limited?
True emptiness, what's limited? I never heard of true emptiness limited. It sounds like a company.
The bliss associated.
I heard of Bank of China Limited. But true emptiness limited, that's the first time in my entire life. There's so much to learn. Where did you learn this concept of true emptiness limited? Ukiah? Where have you been hanging at? There's no such a thing in Mahayana as true emptiness limited. It's only true emptiness unlimited. And because it's unlimited, we drop the unlimited. We call it true emptiness. No. Answer is no. All right. So far, so good. That the young lady there at DTT. So that's why we learn about 6 sense organs, and the Buddha teaches about them again, because through guidance you can use the 6 sense organs to increase the goodness, your goodness. Yes, you too.
Thank you, Master. Diego has a comment here. Emitofuo, Master, I think that's why Pratyeka Buddhas need a good knowing advisor to get them out of that state and start contemplating the mundane so they can give rise to compassion. But we need a good knowing advisor as well.
Don't worry about Pratyeka Buddhas. Let's worry about ourselves. All right. Let me try to finish my answer to that lady there. So you understand about why the Buddha taught us about the 6 roots. What about the 5 skandhas? 5 skandhas are taught for different purpose. The 5 skandhas are taught to help us understand the nature of our ego. How does our ego manifest itself? It manifests itself through 5 different things. The ego attaches to, first thing, the ego will manifest itself by what? Form. That's ego. So far, so good. So when you see someone like Narcissus, very egotistical, clearly. Got that? Form. We attach to form. The ego is very attached to form. Now, this is what the psychologists will never be able to figure out, the nature of the ego. Only Buddha figure out how to destroy the ego, because in order to destroy your ego, you need to understand how it functions, its weaknesses. Okay? The weakness of the ego is that it's very attached to form. Okay? Number 2, it's attached to what? What is it attached to? What is your ego attached to? Don't look too far. Look at yourself. That's me, my ego. Okay? Second attachment is music. Yeah, I agree, but it's not the 5 skandhas. You got to memorize these things, boys and girls. Unless you understand this, you memorize this, you will not be able to develop wisdom. What's second? There's an order, folks. You need to memorize this. This is top secret information. Okay? Yes, Wei Mao.
Feeling?
Feeling. The guy just looked it up clearly. 5 skandhas. The second attachment, after form, it attaches to feelings. Think about it. Nữ nhỏ. Petite nữ. Feelings. Huh? Feelings. We want good feelings and abhor unpleasant feelings. Is that clear? That's your ego right there. He says, I don't like you because you make me feel bad. Or I like you because it makes you feel bad. Okay, it depends on who you are. Okay? We're not excluding anyone. But the feelings are, we are attached to feelings, aren't we? If you worry about your husband, this is how it works. Okay, number 1, oh, is he so handsome? Number 2, oh, it feels so good when we dance. Number 3, what is your ego so attached to? Thinking. Thinking. We like to think. We like to think thoughts. We're proud of it, aren't we? We're proud. Since we are educated, we think. Educated people know how to think. Yeah? And that's your ego. Okay? That's how your ego manifests itself. It likes to think. It attaches to form. Okay? It attaches to feelings. and it insists on thinking. So the concept for Westerners, for modern day people to say stop thinking is very foreign, because we are taught, we are trained to think. Okay, with how our educators realizing that they're making us more egotistical. That's all. Smart people like to think, and they become more egotistical. They think so highly of themselves. Sound familiar? Know any relative who thinks so highly of himself and talks so loudly? Every time you see him, he likes to think clearly. Anyone else? Any other men has any objection to it? Okay? Men like to think. Women don't like to think so much. Women like to feel. See? Egotistical. So far, so good. Number 4. What's the 4th aspect of your ego? Xính, or Vietnamese Han. What's Korean? We don't know what Korean is. Okay? So your ego, it has the xính, meaning like the xính, Han, its co-activity is a little bit lower mental activity than thinking. Okay? So it's called activity. And this refers to the fact that we like to mention the fact, for example, your heart beating is activity. You don't have to think. It still beats. You try to think, stop, it won't stop. That's your ego right there. Ego says, if I stop, I'm going to die. I can't have that. What kind of stupidity is that? You see, so it sometimes manages to ignore its thoughts so that it can survive. You can't kill it. Say, I ain't dying. You got that? You got to force me. All right? So that's why it's called activity. Isn't that cool? That the instinct of survival right there is the ego. It's xính. It's activity. So far, so good. And the 5th one, aspect of your ego is what? Consciousness. Okay? It's even lower level than, see, you have thought here, and this mental activity is this level. The level activity is at this level, and then activity is this lower level, and consciousness is even lower level. That's the ego, your ego for you. It's aware. It's aware, for example, that you look at one person, you meet one person, immediately you know, she doesn't like me. That's consciousness for you. Okay? I have a deeper level of consciousness. Consciousness is that the consciousness of your that activates your sense organs. That's consciousness. All right? So those are the 5 aspects of your ego. The Buddha teaches us about these 5 skandhas. Okay? They're called skandhas because they heap up. Skandhas are heap. It's Sanskrit for heap. So these 5 skandhas are 5 heaps. Why are they called heaps? Because they pile up into a heap. Meaning it keeps on building and building and building and building and building. So it's not that simple for you to undo. Got that? Because it's a heap. It's not a one item, but it keeps on piling up, lifetime after lifetime, moment after moment. It gets bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. It gets more confusing, if you will. So that's why once you have an ego, it gets bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger, lifetime after lifetime after lifetime. That's why we become more and more confused, more and more egotistical. Buddha says, I know this is how you got there, by building up these 5 skandhas, lifetime after lifetime. So he says, I will teach you a way to undo that. How do you undo that? How? Another aspect of the 5 skandhas are like a Fabergé ball. Never mind. You guys have no, I don't know what I'm talking about. Look at your eyes, forget, okay, let me take it back. It's like this. You have the first layer is what? What's number 1? Form. Very good. First layer. What's second layer? Feeling. Very good. It's like this. That's the third one. Can I borrow someone's hand, please? It's a third one inside. You see, so there are layers. Your ball here, if you will, that's form. The inside ball is feeling. Third inside ball is thinking. Fourth is activity. The deepest inside is consciousness. So you see, Buddha says, your ego has the 5 layers. You want to break it. There's a methodology. If you know this is how you form it, that is how your ego is fabricated, okay? Then what you do, how do you undo that? First, you break the outside. You break the inside, it's not going to work. It's very hard for you to get inside. Does it make sense? So that's why, see, if you have no attachment form, you can sit there for 10 hours, even if you feel like going to the restroom. Okay. It's amazing. Some people never figure it out. I would sit there and say, I don't feel nothing. What discomfort? No discomfort. Okay, you got that? So anyway, this is why my disciple is so impressed. She said, Master can hold it for a long, long time. I said, who's holding? It's because I understand the ego. The ego says, oh, I got to go. I said, who's got to go? Sometimes solutions are so obvious and you believe in yourself. So it can't be that easy. Yeah, it's that easy, man. Okay, so you see, so the Buddha says, now you know the nature of the 5 skandhas. There are layers, 5 balls, one inside the other. So you destroy the first layer. Okay? The next you destroy the next layer, which is feeling. Third layer is thinking. Fourth layer is activity. Fifth layer is consciousness. Boom! No more ego. Yes, Nacho.
Emitofuo Master, I couldn't understand what Master said about when we see a person and we think that they don't like us, that's consciousness.
Yeah, because they have this energy. I don't like you. I hate you. Go away. Run away, boy. I mean, that kind of thing. Okay? And you're not as sensitive. And you get better. Like, girl, look at you. Oh, I like him. You should be able to receive it. then it removes a lot of uncertainty, a lot of, does she like me or not? No, she likes me. It's clear. Okay? All right. And then that's when you make the move. Let's check it out. You go over and say, hello. Okay, never mind. You got that? And so, where were we? There's the five skandhas. So that's why the Buddha says, now you understand the five skandhas, the nature of your ego, and that's when, in order to destroy your egos, you have to destroy them sequentially like that, from number 1 to number 5. Okay, so we devise a lot of Dharma doors to help us destroy that ego. By the way, your crossing your legs is one methodology to destroy the 5 layers. How is that? He taught you already. You haven't done it long enough, that's all. That's why what happened is that, the truth is that the Hinayana people, they don't understand the ego to this level of details. They only were taught to move away to the mountain, okay, or to the deep valley. What effect does it do? What are the consequences when you isolate yourself? You eliminate a lot of external stimuli. It's a lot easier for you, okay? It's a lot less confusion for you. There's no sights, no music, no movies, no incense, no nothing. And that's why the mind doesn't jump anymore. So it's easier for you to meditate. You sit there and meditate, and what happens is the first layer is broken through, second layer is broken through, third layer is broken through, and boom, they become 4-stage arhat. That's why they need a long time for that to happen. For us, we have much faster ways. Much faster. Okay? Because we understand that process. What it take to break through first layer, second layer, third layer. And for them, it's brute force. They have to, like Pratyeka Buddhas and Arhats, those sound hearers, those Hinayana practitioners, they need to give it time so that it dies down, it settles down naturally. Okay? If you give it enough time. But for us, we don't have time. Okay? We're very busy. So that's the final answer to the question. The 5 skandhas are the 5 different layers of your ego, and the Buddha taught it so that we can devise ways to break through them methodically. Hinayana, they taught that in those precise terms, and that's why they have to use brute force. For us, Mahayana, we don't need to use brute force because we know how the first layer of feeling is sustained. Okay? Second layer, how it's sustained. Third layer of thinking is activated. So that's why we can figure it out without having to brute force it. Did I answer your question, ma'am, from DTT? Yeah? Okay. Continuing. You make it very challenging for me because you look at you and say, how am I going to explain to you people about these things? Primary truth, we understand, agree, right? It's very useful to do the primary truth. Yeah? Agree? You don't need to drop everything, but you understand that some things, you begin to understand some things are empty. That's when you begin to free yourself. Okay? Right. I tell too many jokes. I will refrain myself. Okay. So let's say you have wisdom and you're able to drop everything. So far, so good. And one day you will, by the way, I promise you. You will. You'll be taught how to do that. Okay? In time. I promise. Okay? Then what? Then what? Let's say I teach you. I said, I teach you how to do the primordial truth, contemplate it. And what's your name again, honey? Tiana, right? Tiana. Oh, what's her name? I forgot the name too. Okay, so you said, yeah, I got it. Okay? I got it. So I said, do you understand the primary truth? I said, yeah, absolutely. So you understand that everything is empty? He said, yeah, I do. Then I said, what about money? Is it empty? No, pretend it's empty. Okay. Pretend. You say, yeah, it's empty. Can you give it to me? I said, yeah, no problem. Okay? I'd be so impressed. Okay, we're assuming that, I won't make you do it. I assume that you are able to do it. So far, so good? Okay? So I said, so you're able to contemplate everything is empty? Yeah, absolutely. I said, great. Then what? Now you can really enjoy life. This woman, then you haven't seen that life is empty yet. Okay? Here's a problem. If you say, what mother, what leg pains, what money, praise the Lord. If you can see what money, I'd be so happy. Okay? Whatever is empty. So far, so good. You're so free. You're so light. You're so happy. It doesn't matter to you anymore. If you have money, fine. You don't have money, fine. Right? You're so free. So carefree. You're so happy. And then what? Now I said, what about contemplating the mundane truth? Here's what happens to you people. I said, I certify you accomplishing the primary truth contemplation. You can drop everything. I'm so impressed. You are the best. Okay? Fine. Then I ask you, I'd like you to contemplate the mundane truth. She would say, what mundane truth? Right? Because you learned from me. I said, Master, you told me. If someone asked me about anything, he said, what anything? What truth? What husband? What boyfriend? What money? What career? What car? It's all empty to me. Right? She's very cautious. Woman is very cautious. Okay. Let me think. Okay. If you have to think, it's not empty. So far, so good? It's empty. Okay, so I ask you, I'd like you to contemplate the mundane truth. And you says, what mundane truth? It's empty. What's wrong with that? And then that's why That's when people get stuck and say, no, I stop here. Everything is empty anyway, so I don't care. I ain't going to do it. Got that? See a catch-22? How can you go from truth of emptiness to the next truth of mundane? How? Usually I don't have this problem, but for some of you, I will. Okay? If you say, what mundane truth? It means that you're attached to emptiness. You should be able to let it go as well. If you say that this is empty, it's empty here, outside, is it empty inside of you? If you still have that thought, oh, it's empty anyway, then it's not empty inside yet. You're able to drop outside only, but you cannot drop inside yet. Am I making sense to you, Tin? He says, wait, let me think. This is not like engineering, okay? It's what is known as attachment to emptiness. It's very dangerous. You're able to drop, okay? But you should not be attached to dropping. You should see it as empty, but should not be attached to that knowledge or that thought. It's empty. Even the thought should be dropped. This is what happened to the Hinayana people. They know, oh, what money, oh, what world, oh, what car, oh, what temple. And they said, I'm not attached to anything. They don't, without realizing they're attached to, not attaching to anything. That's the problem. It's called attachment to the Dharma of emptiness, or short attachment to the Dharma. Does it make sense to you? This is why the Hinayana people are stuck. Is that they're attached to that knowledge that it's empty. They cannot let go of that knowledge. It's empty. Does it make sense? That's extremely dangerous. That's why knowledge can be extremely dangerous. The teacher has to slap you in the face and, hey! Drop it! Ouch. I forgot. It hurts, That's no fun. Anyway, my hand doesn't hurt, it's the head that hurts. It's weird. Did you realize that? When you're like this, the hand doesn't hurt at all, it's the head that hurts. It's weird. Yeah, you see? Not even red. So the hand is empty, but the head is not empty. Okay, never mind. I joke around too much. Got that? So that's why if you say, Master, you just taught me everything is empty anyway, so why should I contemplate the mundane? I said, you refuse to contemplate the mundane, yet you attach to the concept of emptiness. You better contemplate the mundane. That's how you dump the attachment to the knowledge it's empty. Then you're still processing. Let me think. Well, guess what? It's so intriguing, you're not screaming anymore. Never mind. I see. Wow, she's showing off. Okay, You got that? So that's why you see the necessity of contemplating the mundane. You have to be taught to contemplate mundane to make sure that you're not attached to emptiness. Only in Mahayana would you be taught that subtlety. Hinayana, they don't know. Only, let me repeat for you again, only in Mahayana will you find that teaching, nowhere else. That's why we call it Mahayana. We don't call it anything else. Shh, trust me. Buddha's very clear. He says, I have Mahayana, okay? And that's what Master Shia transmitted to us in our country. It's Mahayana, okay? Yes, JMT.
들리세요? 네.
Okay,
네,
never mind. She's empty. But since I'm not attached to emptiness, go ahead.
제가 마스터께서 질문하신 게 모든 걸 내려놓은 다음에 그 다음 스텝이 무엇이냐고 하셨을 때 저는 일단 제가 말씀드리는 거는 제가 제 대답을 마스터께 확인하고 싶은 건데 모든 걸 내려놓은 다음에는 선택적으로 집착할 수 있다가 제 대답인데 그거에 대해서 좀 체크를 받고 싶고요. 네.
So, Master, I would like to answer your question that after you let go of everything, then what? So I want to answer you that my answer is that you can choose to what to attach is my answer. And I want to get checked from you.
그다음에 두 번째 질문은 그 DTT에서
I think she's not attached to me at all. That's why no matter how I abuse her, it doesn't bother her. She sees me as empty already. I'm impressed. I'm so proud of you.
마스터 그다음에 두 번째 그 DTT에서 질문하신 분이 육근에 대해서 질문하셨는데 마스터께서 이 육근이 외부 작용과 연결하는 통로라고 설명을 하셨었어요. 그런데 제가 안입이 설신까지는 외부 대상과 연결하는 통로인 건 이해가 되는데 네.
I have a question. Second question is about the connected to the question from DTT, the lady's question. She asked about 6 roots, and Master explained that it's like a connecting root with the outside world with you, and I can understand why eye, ear, nose, tongue is connective root, but
그런데 이제 마지막 6번째 의가 그게 어떻게 외부 대상과 연결하는 채널인지가 제가 이해가 안 되거든요. 제가 갖고 있는 사전 백그라운드는 마지막 의는 앞에 첫 번째부터 5번째가 외부 대상과 연결됐을 때 내 속에서 일어나는 마음작용이기 때문에 그거는 내 마음 안의 거지 외부랑 연결되는 통로가 아닌 것 같아서 질문드립니다.
But I don't understand the 6th part. I think the 6th part is that if you connect with the 5 sense organs, then what happens is the 6th thing that happens inside your mind. Isn't it?
그러니까 제 질문은 앞에 첫 번째 안입이 설시인까지는 외부 대상과 연결하는 통로가 맞는데 마지막 6번째는 내 마음 안의 작용이 아니냐가 제 질문인 거예요.
What I'm saying is the first 5 is the connection for the outside world, but the 6th one is what's happened inside your mind. This is my question.
So?
그러니까 질문인 거예요.
This is a question. I want to know am I right?
I'm answering your question with a question. So?
모르겠는데요.
I don't know.
Don't worry about it. Okay, moving on. I need to finish this, folks, because it's so important. Because I might never see some of you again. This is too much for you. Okay, so this is very, very important. So now you see the importance of, after you finish your emptiness contemplation. By the way, it's never been explained like this before, ever, in Mahayana. Okay, I explained it to you because I feel that you need more help than the Chinese. Just kidding. God, so serious. Anthony was so offended. Said, really? Anyway, so you contemplate emptiness, and then we teach you to make sure that you're not attached to emptiness, to contemplate mundane. You got that? Okay? Another reason why we teach you contemplate mundane is that unless you, the mundane is you take everything to be real. You take everything seriously. Why are you so mean to me? Why don't you like me? Okay? And he's so adorable. Not. Okay? That kind of thing. Because that's the mundane contemplation. You take everything seriously. You don't let go of anything. It's my money. It's not yours, master. Forget it. It's my gold. It's my cryptocurrency. Okay? And so forth. Got that? And that's a mundane contemplation. All right? Everything is real. Why? Because it may not be real to you, but it's real to the people who are confused. Therefore, you cannot dismiss them as empty to them. You got that? If you say, for example, this guy says, you know, what's an expensive car called? I forgot. Maybe like a Porsche? Is that expensive? What? A Porsche. Okay, Porsche is expensive. Yeah? Anyone driving a Porsche? Okay. Don't feel so bad. Okay? So, you see, you know, that car is empty. Inside yourself is empty. Okay? But on the other hand, because you know it's empty, and therefore you walk by and you take a key, it's empty anyway, right? And you look at her and say, why are you so afflicted? It's empty, ma'am. See the problem? You are going to hurt a lot of people because you see it empty. You cannot help people. You're hurting people. You understand? That's why it's important for you to take it seriously because of Trin. Trin is to try and figure out, you know, these khandas, 5 roots, is so many things to absorb today. I thought it's just sitting and crossing my legs and gritting my teeth. Okay, got that? So that's why it's very important for us to take things seriously for others' sakes. Because if you abuse their Porsche, they're not gonna come to the temple anymore. Got that? Okay, that's what Chung Yin does to me. She tests me constantly. You know, I have a van called Odyssey 2011. And he would work around the temple, and he's carrying this long metal pipe, and he's carrying around, walks up my van, and someone says, "Chung Yin Sunim." He said, "Huh?" I have a dent. It's still there. That's what he does to test me. He says, I'm practicing contemplating the mundane. Okay, have you got the emptiness truth yet? I say, no. That's I'm warning you. I ain't contemplating emptiness. Everything is real to me. Don't test me. Don't burn down Go Forest. Please. Got that? Okay? So that's why it's balance, if you will. See the importance now. The Mahayana teaching is very complete. You cannot be stuck on emptiness. You cannot be stuck on the mundane. So far, so good? Okay? No, honey. I don't have time for you. Not today. Okay? Okay. Okay. I'm going to see you empty. Okay? Number 3, contemplating the middle way. What is that? The middle way, by definition, is both empty and true at the same time. That's how you train. That's how you'll be trained to open your true wisdom. But don't worry, you get there. We lead you there gradually, and when it's time, you say, it makes sense now. But there's a methodology, you see that? And that's the nature of wisdom, is that you must see the middle way. That is, you see both empty and true at the same time. That's what this lady is referring to without understanding it. It's the middle way. My husband is empty, but at the same time, he's not empty. He's real to me. He brings the dough home. And that's wisdom. You agree? If you say, my husband's empty, then how the hell, who's going to pay for the bills? Who's going to go to work? Yeah, when you go to the temple. Got that? All right. I'm sorry, time is run out, but can I have a quick question for the young lady here before? No? You done now? You have the middle way? Yes, go ahead. Green, and then we stop. 4.
Emitofuo Master. So in order for us to be, we can do like middle contemplate. Number 3. So we have to go step by step, like empty first, and then contemplate the mundane, and then middle, or we can just...
Good question. Thank you for asking. There's an order again. There's a methodology. You need to start with the first truth of emptiness, follow it by the truth of the mundane, okay? And then eventually be taught to contemplate both. There's an order behind that. You cannot jump around, okay? It's sequential. That's how you become enlightened. Okay? Thank you, everyone. Have a great Visa.